Hi, everyone, and welcome back to What a Story. This episode, we sit down with Rae. Rae, tell us about you.
All right. My name is Rae Lockdust. My pronouns are they, them, because I'm a lot. And I am the producer of Uncloseted Comedy, the celebration of queer joy, and that of which is going into its third Uncloseted Comedy Pride Festival, June 13th and 14th at the Staircase Theater this month or next month. It feels like June already, but
Oh, that's cool. Um,
yeah,
how did you get into comedy?
it's a story. But I got in through improv first, back when I was 19 and living in Toronto, going to school for nursing, and I was depressed. And I thought to myself, like, when was the last time I didn't feel this way? Drama class in high school. So, being the impulsive ADHD being that I am, I just Googled acting class Toronto and signed up for the first one, which happened to be improv at the Inpatient Theater. And I went through, finished the whole thing, and I went hard into improv for years and years until I moved to Aurelia, where there was one improv team, which I won't name, but um, after a horrible experience of like literally like I was like sexually assaulted on stage, and I went, hey, that's a line for me, I don't want that to happen. And they said, you're ruining the fun and taking it a little too seriously, so we think it's best if you discontinue the team.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, improv is a thing that's all about teamwork and camaraderie and trust.
Yeah.
So I took a step back from improv, but I still had that comedy itch. So I thought of a joke, and I went, and it just kind of clicked. I understand how stand up works now. So I signed up for the Sheridan open mic, which ended up being a music open mic, but that doesn't matter. I had the cook come out and say I was a breath of fresh air because everything else was so obnoxious, and I was wonderful. So I got a compliment, and I've been
Honestly,
riding that high ever since.
I always, whatever city I live in, and there's been a few, I always find a music open mic, and that is my workout room
Yeah,
because you get a laugh there because it's a genuine laugh and the joke went well,
yeah,
so that's always good.
yeah.
um and when I was going to make a joke and could be like yes and, but being essayed on stage, not so funny.
No, no, it was not funny, but
Not
I
funny.
allow the team to still exist. I won't name them, but they are Aurelia's only team, and I'm not going to not tell my story. So
Well, I think you just outed them just by that.
I know I'm not shy about it.
Okay,
They know what they did.
so are you ready to tell your story?
You betcha.
Let's do it. What's your story? What a
All right.
story.
So this is an example of me being, I commit to the bit.
Okay.
And I went into this expecting a date, and I just kind of kept it going because it was worth it for the story as it went through. So I was on a lesbian dating app, and I kept coming across people with the same name as me. So I thought that'd be fun. So I went on a date with a Rachel at the time while I was still going by Rachel. So we were Rachel and Rachel, and it was the worst date I've ever been on. We met in the rain at this restaurant that ended up being so expensive and awful. She sent my food away before I finished it, and all throughout dinner is showing me the just increasingly graphic nudes, which like time and place. Like when someone asks you to stop, you don't say, "Okay, here's my vulva." Like I shouldn't know what that looks like.
Hey,
Yeah, and I'm just like, we'll see where this goes. At this point, I'm not interested, but I could tell like this, like there's something here. And then while we're sharing some wine, she looks at me and she says, "I need you to know that I have a reborn doll," which are these hyper realistic baby dolls that they usually give to mothers after a miscarriage. So I'm expecting a tragic story. But no, she just is really excited about being a mom one day. And so she's practicing, but she doesn't wash them. So she's on her third one, and she loves them until their skin goes black. and then gets a new one. And she expects that her partner will care for it as if it's a stepchild. So I ask where the doll is, and she says that her parents are babysitting it, and I'm just like, okay. So I once read an article on cracked.com that was like 5 things to do before you die. One of which was put your dick in crazy, and I was like, all right. Not worth it. I learned. I won't get into the graphics stuff, but it did have to stop due to baby noises. Yeah, yeah. So Rachel and Rachel did not work out, but I'm still a gentleman, and I was walking her to the bus stop. On the way there, she says, I can sing. Do you want me to sing for you? And I think that's better than the conversation, so sure. And she says that she can only do it in a Geordie accent. That is the dialect in Newcastle. That is kind of like a step above Cockney, but still its own. So she pulled up parodies of songs in the Geordie dialect, and she sings "Let It Go," making eye contact with me the whole time while walking and singing. I have not let it go. And then she went into "Call Me Maybe," which I didn't.
All right.
Yeah.
And is that how the night end?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my weird date story.
All right.
Yeah.
I've
So
already heard a few of weird dates.
yeah. Yeah. So the reason I chose that story is just before you messaged me. Like I hadn't finished the thought yet. I was thinking about that story and I was thinking, should I bring that back on stage? Is that weird enough or am I making fun of a mentally ill person? I can't tell. And then before I finished this thought, I received a message from you being like, "You want to come and tell a story?" I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
just blame it on me. I get it.
Yeah.
Just blame me.
I think this is the power of the universe telling me that that is a great story.
Yeah, it is. And thank you for sharing it. All
Oh, you're
right.
welcome. I
All
hope your
right.
nightmares aren't too bad.
No, I've heard worse. Um,
You've been
I've
through worse, I'm
experienced
sure.
worse.
Yeah.
All right. So, Rae, thank you for your story. If people want to find you, uh, besides the show you run, on your social medias, what are they?
All right. So you can find me Rae Lockdust on Instagram and Facebook, on TikTok and all the other things too, but I'm not, those are neglected. So Rae Lockdust, RaeLockdust.
All right. All right, Rae. Thank you for sharing your story. I
Yeah,
appreciated it. And I
I'm
suppose
glad.
other people will too, because they'll relate. We've all had bad dates. All right. And I will see you obviously around St. Catharines and the scene. So until then, take care of yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. You take care as well.
Okay.